This is your friendly reminder to review your replays, and I'd also like to thank each and every one of you all for so much support on these FAFcasts and helping me pass the 100 subscriber threshold. Also, as far as the glitch involving the stutters in the replay that I mentioned in last cast, I have spoken with Zlo, and Zlo has spoken with the developers. It should have a fix coming out in next patch, so here's for hoping. Whatever I just said. See you in the cast! Hello there, you beautiful people. My name is Willow, and welcome to Hilly Plateau. This is my 4th FAFcast, and today it's going to be a 5v5. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start introducing our teams. Team 1 up here at the top right of this map, we have Lazy Avena in the air spot, and he is an orange Cybern going first land. To his northwest, we have Duality, a pink Aeon. He is going first land as well. In front of him, going in the south, we have Maximus XXX, a red UEF, going first land. Then, moving to the front already, we have Azuros, a gray Aeon, going first land. And then up here, last but not least for Team 1, we have Trith. He is a green Aeon going first land. So we have 2 Aeons, a UEF, 3 Aeons, a UEF, and a Cybern for Team 1. Then down here on Team 2, let's start with the 2 front players. We have Aero24XXX, so both teams have a XXX player. This is going to be some heavy action. He is a blue Seraphim going first land. We have a darker blue Cybern up here, Mochulal. Modulal? I'm probably saying that wrong. Mochulal is going Cybern. He's dark blue. He went first land. Then to his west, we have a yellow Cybern, 302. He is a yellow Cybern going first land. In the air slot for Team 2, we have Cozier, who is a purple Cybern going first land. And then last but not least for all of our players, we have Imrak Hoklub. We're going to call him Dave. He's the Dave of this game. And he's a pink Aeon going first land. With all that out of the way, let's go ahead and see how these players are going to kick off. We are on the map Hilly Plateau. We have mass kind of spread out everywhere. A lot of comms coming to the middle for this massive deposit of reclaim over here. And let's see how they get on. We'll check on reclaim numbers here in just a second after this is taken down. Everybody gets in here, hoovers up the mass, then falls back to start building bases or getting gun or something. We have 2 comms for each team here, and a third on the way in the form of 302. They are going to end up just trading some blows as they reclaim. You sometimes do see a concerted effort from one of the teams to just absolutely scalp one of the enemy players, but here it looks like they're going to reclaim and possibly just walk their way out. No player particularly getting focused down, everybody just taking a little bit of chip damage from each other's ACUs. We do have Trith on the way as well as 302. They may be able to affect this in some way. See a gang up on one of these players. We have Duality coming out here to try and take some of this northern expansion area, as Maximus is being pushed further north by 302 and Mochulal. Mochul? I'm just going to say it Mochul, because no matter what I say, it's going to be wrong. Azuros, our highest rated player, he is a 1700, a little bit ahead of everybody else, is looking kind of peaky. He is in yellow health, sitting around 6,500 health as all 3 comms come towards him. He'll want to get something up to protect him, and Trith might want to come over and help him out. It looks like Mochulal is pulled off, but we have Aero24XXX and 302 coming after him. They're going to have to start falling back, though, as Trith shows up, and we have a Eruptor out and a second on the way from Azuros. He is going to be perfectly safe over here. If they push into him, multiple comms are going to die. We have Dave down here. He's going to be pushing out to the east as a Flare harasses one of his mechs. Is that Flare going to get that mechs? That's the question. A Spectre gunship out very early for Dave, but it does not manage to save that mechs. He's going to have to rebuild that. That's a very early T2 rush by Dave there to get his Spectre out, and it looks like he's just making more and more of them. So we have a Spectre spam, possible snipe coming in, possibly going for Azuros as his comm is already quite low. If he can build up 5 or 6 of these, he has definitely a scary force out in the field. He's using his comm to clean up these spam units out from Trith. As up here we have a bomber harassing some spam units, trying to get that engineer, I'm sure. No kills on that bomber yet. That engineer is a missed opportunity. Stopping the expansion from this engineer would be nice. But then again, you do have this transport coming out, and these 2 flares and that Aurora should be cleaned up pretty easily. Could even reclaim the Aurora, honestly. Yeah, you're gonna want to kill that Aurora here soon, my friend. Alright, there we go. You can definitely find a nice little win up here as he secures the expansion. And that Spectre spam is up to 4 Spectres. And Trith is on an upgrade right here. He's going to need to be careful. Oh, this could be very bad. 9,000 health on Trith. He is losing health quite quickly. We need to get out some interceptors. Does anybody have any way of helping him? Falling down lower, 4,000 health. But Dave also on 4,000 health. Building Eruptors to try and lower Dave's health very quickly. This could be a trade of comms. Dave does not have very much health left, and that is a trade of comms. Dave for Team 2 and Trith for Team 1 are both going to be ejected here at the 6 minute and 50-second mark. That means both teams lose their easternmost player. Well, I mean, I guess here it's debatable which one's more eastern, but this guy's going to definitely go out this way while this guy goes up here. But the east flank is wide open for both teams. We'll have to see how they expand, how they get reestablished here with their remaining players. It's going to be on to Arrow to try and take over this side, and Azuros to try and take over for Team 1. As that's happening, we have double gun speed and range coming out over here. We have Motul and 302 both getting the same upgrade, just about a kilometer apart from each other. You have to take into scale. These robots are absolutely massive. You can see the trees in the background just towering over them. It's always fun when you just look at the scale of this game, how big everything really is. Even these small units, the size of trees. Look, these mantis, you think they're just little annoyance units, but they're as big as a house. They are definitely something you don't want to mess with. As these death robots come out in force, and we have another gun speed and range coming out for Arrow 24XXX. He is going to be completing this kind of curve, this kind of front line of gun speed and range upgrades. I wonder if this is a coordinated effort to try and scalp somebody, or if they're just thinking of being very aggressive. There's not quite as much spam out from Team 2 currently. Although we do have T2 land out from Arrow 24. We also have T2 land out for Motul, T2 Air producing some Corsairs for Crozier. Sorry, I forgot who that was for a second. And a bit more of a spam approach out here from 302. Let's go ahead and check tech on the other side. We do have a Tech 2 land for Maximus. Azuros, I'm not seeing Tech 2 land yet. Nope, not seeing it. We do have T2 Air and on the way to T3 for Lazy Avena and T2 land out for Duality. Duality. That's how we're going to say that. Let's go ahead and check on reclaim numbers. Total reclaim in this game. It looks like Lazy Avena is leading. No, Arrow 24 is leading the pack, and I guess that makes sense. He did get out here early, and he has probably reclaimed quite a bit from his allies' base. There has been a divergence in how the teams are splitting up their dead players' mass. Most of the dead players' mass, at least the very core mexes, have gone to Cozier for Team 2, and on Team 1, it's all gone to Lazy Avena. We do have a lot of units out from from Azuros coming down to this southern flank, or coming down from on this southeastern flank. I don't know what to call it, but we do have units coming out quite quickly. Arrow 24 coming in with that gun comm to try and protect it, but these units are faster than the comm, so if they can just keep moving, there is a chance that they can deny this chance for an expansion. We do have Corsairs out. They may try and do some bombing runs over here, though it looks like they're going to attack Azuros' comm. That's not going to be very effective with this Mar flak set up here by the Aeon comm, who has gotten T2 by now. We have a Tech 2 power on the way as well for Azuros. Up here we have a little bit of a fire base going on from Duality, who has also gotten T2. I have not been keeping a very good track of the upgrades whatsoever. I apologize. And we have a T2 units out over here, some Mongoose protecting this flank along with that fire base from these gun comms, which are bearing down on it. There is a chance these gun comms could break through, but they definitely need some more units behind them to back them up. Some overcharges can very easily deal with T2 PD. Probably be better to build T1 PD than shields right now if I were Duality. Yeah, now would be the time to build some T1 PD, get these comms off of you. The Mongoose numbers are thinning. I think you have to start falling back right now if you want to stay alive in this one, Duality, and that does seem to be what he is currently doing. Just a little bit, so you can get another fire base started up maybe back here. There's a little bit less chance for flanks back here too. A little bit better positioning. As the units start to run out to these gun comms, which have 12 and 28 kills respectively, both 2 vet comms. A scary thing to deal with. Where is Maximus's comm? It is back here. It should possibly be coming over here. If they both use their T2 engineering suite, they could very easily spam up some defenses, stop this push in its tracks, as we have some banger flak coming out to try and keep the air dissuaded from trying to do anything to these 2 gun comms out from Motul, along with some hoplites, because, you know, hoplites are always nice. Also, yet again, as I've mentioned in my last cast, if there is a stutter, I actually have an update on that stutter. I don't know if I'm probably going to throw it at the beginning, but I just wanted to reiterate that stutter is something that I'm looking into getting fixed. It is going to most likely be fixed in the next patch of FAF. I don't know if you all are noticing it quite as much as me, but I have not been able to ignore it ever since I noticed it. We have Duality falling back even further. The question is, how spicy are 302 and Motul feeling? Do they want to push even further? And if so, how far are they willing to push before they say this is too dangerous? Or are they going to be rushing headlong into their own demise? we do have a rather strong hold of this eastern flank by Arrow 24 and Crozier. They have set up a lot of factories, and they're definitely holding about the middle point of it. And I mean, I guess I can't blame Lazy Avena for not being as aggressive on this flank. It is 2 versus 1, and the 2v2 up here is not going well. Team 2 being kind of boxed into their base. Let's go ahead and look at eco totals. We have not done that yet this game. We have Crozier, unsurprisingly, with all of this core all these core mexes, and they're all upgraded to T2, leading the pack at 98 mass. Behind him for Team 2, we have Arrow at 67. And then the other 2 allies on his team are definitely short stacking compared to most of the players in the game at 39 for Mochuel and 302 sitting on a paltry 29. Very low mass numbers. Most of his mexes aren't upgraded, and he's working on expanding. That should be fixed relatively soon, unless, of course, he is power stalling, which he is not. He has been reclaiming to keep himself afloat, it seems, and yes, he is leading reclaim, so, except for Lazy Avena. Let's go ahead and check mass totals for Team 2. I think that's a power stall. That is indeed a power stall, so we'll check on Lazy Avena later when he's gotten that sorted out. Duality also power stalling, it seems. Not doing quite so well, but he is stabilized, and he's looking like he's on 37 mass a tick. Maximus on 70 mass a tick, so not helping out his teammate. It's obvious where all of that went. He went for mass upgrades, already having a Tech 3 mechs out on the field. And I mean, I guess he was helping. He did send the Mongoose over there, but it did not do quite enough. They are losing that flank quite hard. Azuros taking up a lot of map control, sitting at 74 mass a tick, and overall the teams have I would say about, let's see, the numbers are kind of fluctuating, but it looks like a 10 to 20 mass lead for Team 1, possibly? Or, I don't know, if you're just looking off this, they're kind of even. We'll try and keep an eye on that throughout this game. Let's go ahead and check on air numbers. We do have 3 ASF out for Lazy Avena. Let's go ahead and check on Crozier, who is sitting on 7 ASF. So Team 2 currently holding the lead for mass totals currently. Or not mass totals, ASF totals. So Team 2 has air control theoretically. There's not much out to really threaten with, except for this strat bomber, which I've just noticed. We do have a strat bomber out on the field to try and disrupt things. What is that possibly going for? Don't go for the comm. Okay, you're not going for the comm. It is most likely going for these power generators, if I just had to guess. That's definitely where I would send it, try and mess up this power generation. No, in fact, it might be going for power generation back here, but that's a little bit risky as there are ASF out. It is going to hit a bunch of engineers and these power generators, but it's going to fall down immediately, and that did not accomplish very much. Just killing some Tech 1 engineers will not hurt this whatsoever. I think it may have been a better choice to try and go for power down here, or even outlying mexes, instead of trying to get a kill on the air HQ. I mean, it is thinking big, and if you do get a kill on the air HQ, that is massive, but I think it's going to be a little bit harder than sending in one strat with some ASF. We have some Mercies built down here from Duality. We'll have to keep an eye on that. There might be a snipe incoming. After that 6-minute and 50-second mark, we haven't had any players get ejected from this game. We do have a large fire base being built up by Maximus and Duality over here, but a fair number of T1 spam units out from 302 are making their way towards Duality's main base, and all that's here are a couple of Obsidians and a Mongoose. I don't know if that's enough to stop it. Well, it definitely isn't if they're not even going to get in the way of the T1 spam that are coming towards them. This T2 mechs would be painful to lose for Duality, who is already short stacking on mass, even behind 302, who was not too long ago behind him on mass totals. This northwestern flank has kind of collapsed for Team 1, a massive power vacuum over here, as the double gun comm did accomplish quite a bit. 302 and Motul getting a lot of map control up here, as the same story is true for this eastern flank, though not quite as dire. There is definitely a mismatch in the number of units, though we do have T3 land out from Azuros, and he is pumping out harbingers, it would seem, at a rather quick pace. He's trying to get this under control, create a bunch of harbingers, start pushing back all of this T1 spam with the occasional mixed in T2 unit. These harbingers can get a lot of work done. It would be very nice to see him push all the way down here and get some work done on these factories. Just get rid of that production and you can push very far into these bases. Let's see how much work he can get done with these harbingers. As they skid around on those 4 very spiky legs, looking for things to kill and more importantly, things to reclaim. We all know that harbingers are just an excuse for an engineer to have a gun. What? The Sparky? I don't know what you're talking about. That unit doesn't exist. Nobody ever fucking builds it. Nobody builds Sparkies because why? Honestly, I'd like to see more Sparkies used. You're a UEF player. Build some Sparkies. Do a Sparky drop. I want to see it. Use that little 31 DPS spark gun. Or, riot gun. Actually, is that the DPS? Let's check really quick. Sparky. Hell's Fury, riot gun, a DPS of 30! Hey, I was right. With 15 damage and a fire rate of 0.5 and a range of 18, a unit nobody builds. Give me more Sparkies. Give me Sparkies or give me death. As we look at the map, we can see that Team 2 has said, hey, we'll take that. We'll take the entire map. And Team 1 has said, alright, we'll build fire bases. So, you know, that's what they're doing. They got the shields and the T2PD, and okay, Azuros hasn't quite fire-based quite as hard as the western flank has. But Team 2 and Team 1 having very diverging opinions on how to play the game right now. I'm not sure which is quite better. The mass totals are neck and neck still. No more than a 10 to 20 mass difference at any given time for generated mass. Let's look at the total mass income. And at this point in the game, when you're looking at 268 and 276,000 mass totals, that's not very much difference. Only 7,000 mass. There is 7,000 mass is significant, but not significant when we're this late into the game. The teams are neck and neck with Eco. Team 2 deciding to tech up, get more Tech 3 mexes, get more mass, consolidated it through upgrades, while Team 2 has said, we will just do more, and there is something to be said about a certain quality and quantity. Although quality can come from quantity, in this situation, Mantis versus Titans, I will always take the Titan side. These 4 Titans are going to be paying themselves off, and then some, getting 2 vet. All of these Titans just getting veterancy up. 15 kills, 18 kills, 13 kills, 2 kills. Well, you know, that's Tristan. We don't talk about Tristan. He's an underperformer. He doesn't do very well. He always sits in the back of the classroom and makes stupid jokes instead of doing the homework assignments, and they're not even funny. And that's why he's only sitting at 2 kills. He actually failed in boot camp, but we just sent him here because we thought, hey, he can shield bullets for the important people. Giving elaborate backstories to units that'll be dead in the next 5 minutes. At least I'm assuming. I don't think Tristan's got very much to give to the world. Although he is sitting on 6 kills now, so he's not the lowest kills, but he's lost half of his health getting those 6 kills, while his brother Josh, I guess over here, has gotten 23. So, you know, be a Josh, don't be a Tristan. This is completely random. If you're watching this and your name is Tristan, then I have nothing against you. It was just the first name that popped in my head. So you can take that as a compliment. Your name bounces around my noggin for some goddamn reason. And that, man, that is a lot of Zooies. Also, a fair bit of Mantis, but a lot of Zooies. Not like a lot of Zooies by like Zooie spam measures, but for this game, that feels like a lot of Zooies. Okay? These harbingers, though, do not very much so care if that's a lot of Zooies. They will still push out as obsidians. Well, these Eversongs with their those missile launchers are not going to do very well. Eversongs probably should have stood back here and just kept launching missiles instead of walking up with the harbingers and getting absolutely spit roasted by Zooies. Man, I don't even know which one's freaking Tristan anymore. I'm gonna guess it's, well, which one of you is Tristan? Is Tristan dead? I'm gonna guess it's this one. 10 kills and no vet. I could just say it's this one with 3 kills. You know what? They're all Tristans. They're goddamn Titans. Why be a Titan? Why be a virgin Titan when you can be a Chad Percival? But we all know the real hype is with the Harbingers. Harbingers are so dope looking. Love seeing Harbingers. Anything else going on? I'm sure I'm missing like 1,000 things because I'm not actually paying very much attention. We have cloaking coming out for Crozier. Anything interesting going on down here? No? Yes? Maybe? Monkey Lord on the way for Motual, who has stealth. I don't know why I thought that was cloak as well. But yeah, cloaking coming out for Crozier, and we have stealth and other upgrades. Do you have nano on this comm yet? No, this comm... Am I the only one who thinks the Seraphim comm looks really weird until you get a back upgrade? Like, it just looks weird. Get a back upgrade on your Seraphim comms. They look wrong until they have the extra 3 spikes on their back. Now that is an upgraded comm. Why did he go for stealth? Does he have some other special upgrade? Oh, he has laser. Alright, that's a cloak laser comm. That's interesting. I wonder what he plans to do with that. Like, obviously be a sneaky boy. Be a real sneaky boy. Snack. He wants to make his way downtown walking fast with that laser so he can absolutely destroy things. Is that Monkey Lord completed yet? No, it is currently at 60% and climbing. Harbingers are now running into Authams, which is unfortunate because that means there's no longer a tech mismatch down here. So Azuros needs to do something to get a stronghold in this, or a foothold down here. Get his foot in the door to start pushing forward, because not gonna lie, Arrow 24 looking quite quite threatening right now. They need to address this spam and everything coming out. I'm hearing strap bombs and my phone going off. Sorry about that one. Second. Just making sure it's not an emergency, and it's not. Okay. For anybody who wants to know, that was actually my friend Josh. So, you know, Josh over here on this flank, it does seem that Josh has probably died. Yeah, Josh, I know you're calling me to let me know that you died up here, but it's not super, super important anymore. Give me 1 second. All right. Let's see. We have T3 on the way, and a Fat Boy completed for Maximus. Didn't even notice he was building that. That could be very powerful. And we do still have Crozier's stealth, or cloak and laser comm out here. And let's see. Fat Boy out. Is that Monkey Lord done yet? No, it is not. Let's go ahead. Fun fact, I used to play StarCraft for a really long time, and I also play a lot of League of Legends. I keep on clicking on the minimap thinking it'll do something. It doesn't. We have a nuke launcher on the way for Lazy Avena. Avena. And that could be very dangerous, as this comm out from Crozier could get in a little bit of hot water down here. Do they have any detection of this? They do not. I believe it would take Omni to detect it. That is actually wrong. Once you get Cloak, apparently you no longer have stealth. So that comm is getting shot at by a Fat Boy. It didn't do too horribly much damage, but that Fat Boy is not something you want to trifle with. You definitely do not want to be sat there getting shot at it forever. Or shot by it forever, I should say. A 4-vet comm for Mochulal. And a... Let's see what this got to. It got to 3 vets for 302. And that Monkey Lord is finally almost completed for Team 2. Though they keep having to build other things beforehand, a T3 power and an SMD, as I'm sure they have scouted the nuke launcher over here, which is building at quite a rapid pace, already nearing the 20% point on that first missile. Let's go ahead and check for anti other than this one, which is still being built. It'll need some massive assistance. We have one built out for Crozier, and it is most likely going to finish with all of the assistance on it. It'll most likely finish before the nuke can travel all the way down. It'll be able to protect at least Crozier's base. But what is the range on that anti? It does not quite cover all of Mochulal's base. He did manage to finish that Monkey Lord in time, as a Yathoda is on the way for Arrow 24. And this Fat Boy is pushing out. It's going to take some of this map control back for Team 1. And let's see, what else is going on? We have shield field upgrade going on for Maximus. And we just have this Fat Boy going on. There's not a ton of stuff going on. Let's keep an eye on that nuke's progress. It's currently at nearing 60%, I would say. That could be very dangerous for Team 2. Definitely need to get some more anti-nukes built. I'd like to see one coming out from Arrow 24. As there is not one currently. Unless it's built up here somewhere. I'm not seeing it. We do have a line of T2 artillery to protect against that fat boy, but that's not going to help very much. As this base up here is trying to be established, it does look like this T1 spam along with some loyalists out from 302 may be able to clean this up. As the fat boy comes along and starts wailing into these T3 units, that could be very dangerous for their health, you know. Generally, high explosive shells lobbed from a kilometer away, it's not good for your health. Yep, that's definitely not gonna feel good. We have a land battleship. I don't know why it's called the Experimental Mobile Factory. They should just call it what it is. It's a land battleship. They took battleship cannons, they're like weak summit cannons, and threw it on a giant ship with treads. It's a land battleship. A land ship.
Strategic launch detected.
And Nuke coming out from Lazy Avena. Where is that going to be landing? It is going to be landing over Mochuel's base. Let's check that anti-nuke. It is not loaded, and it's nowhere close to being loaded. Is it within range of Crozier's anti-nuke? I don't quite know. Oh, it's going to be close. Let's keep an eye on that anti-nuke range. Here comes the nuke. Is it going to be in range? Oh, just barely is not. And that's going to be all of Mochuel's base going down. He does survive by moving his comm back, but that does bring his mass total down to 1. All of his remaining mexes were right here. He has no mass remaining, and that is devastating, as over here we have a massive push coming out from Arrow 24 using that Monkey Lord, which has been seemingly gifted over from Mochuel to Arrow 24. Let's see if this can make any inroads. We do have some Ravagers queued up by Maximus, as well as a GC being built by Azuros, but that GC is not coming up anytime soon. The only thing that GC can hope to do is possibly be in time to protect against this Yathoda coming through, as this massive siege of Team 1's main bases is coming down. That GC is not going to be built. Azuros needs to start moving his comm now. That spider bot is going to be a very hazardous thing for his health, as Corsairs come in bombing that Monkey Lord. So many units, and yeah, as you can see, that little stutter I was talking about, super apparent whenever I do these like cinematic cams. It becomes way more apparent, or when there's a lot of units moving. It's the reason that stutter exists is there's a bunch of statistical data being collected, and that just really, every few seconds, whenever it's collecting statistics on players' kills and mass totals and everything, that's what causes that. So whenever you have a bunch of units dying and such, it really fucks with it. That Monkey Lord does go down. Azuros does not die. That GC can still be built. If you can get some build power on that, maybe use the kennels from Maximus, get up the GC in time to protect against the Yathoda, but that's not even going to happen. They have to hope that this line of Ravagers is enough. Are they going to be able to hold against this Yathoda and all of this spam still coming in? Ravager fire being wasted on Medusa. and Zoomies, as we have yet more Corsairs bearing down on the Yathoda. Oh, if this Yathoda gets in here and destroys these power generators, all of these shields go down. And that could be quite painful. We do have a Plasmid Ball of Death. Is that going to be enough damage? It is. First Pigeon and shield down. Lazy Avena not able to contribute anything other than those Corsairs, and they're being shot down very quickly. Azuros' Calm losing tons of health, and that Hydro exploding did not help whatsoever. Is Azuros going down? He is! That is the ejection of the third player this game at the 32-minute mark. Almost 33 minutes, and this Yathoda has killed Azuros seconds before it dies. That is unfortunate for Team 1, leaving only Maximus, Lazy Avena, and Duluth. Okay. Duality, Maximus, and Lazy Avena, as I have a stroke and just keep on saying one person's name for 5 minutes. To defend against all of this, there is Ravagers out, and that is going to be very useful, but we have a Strat Snipe coming in along with a Soul Ripper out from Crozier. I have missed so much this game. A Soul Ripper has been built without me knowing it. The only thing I caught very well was the Nuke launcher. And these Strat Bombers are going to kill Lazy Avena. That is definitely our next player being ejected. Only Maximus and Duality left. It would be one hell of a hold if they could keep all of this off of them, as a Soul Ripper and multiple Strat Bombers start bearing down on Maximus's location. That shield could help him build some flak and possibly protect himself from the Soul Ripper. That's what I would be doing, is just building flak within that shield radius, but I don't even think that would help him with the Strat Bombers coming in. Strat Bombers will take out that shield field. Oh wow, they won't. That shield field has so much health. And that Soul Ripper is going to be tearing through this health that Maximus has at a stunning rate. And that is going to be our fourth ejection from Team 2. And that leaves Duality all by his lonesome to attempt to hold, and I don't think it's going to happen. I think that's the end of this match, the end of this game. There's not nearly enough anti-air here to protect against this Soul Ripper, much less Strat Bombers on top of it. So that is going to be a dead Aeon player, and the last ejection of this game. I'd like to thank each and every one of you all for watching as we watch this beautiful explosion. I plan to do more FAFcasts in the future, and I'm also going to be doing some more strategy games, and I would deeply appreciate it if any of you all would be willing to check out my Fallout series. I've put a lot of work into that series. And yeah, in general, have a wonderful day, and I will see you again in the future. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment. And goodbye! Because that's the end of the match.